Hey, this is Jenny Jones, Digital Marketing Tool Shed. All right, so listen, what I want to show you is how to do a webhook. I want to show you in short order. All right, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time with you. I just want to make this very, very plain and very simple to you. Now, so what happens is when you get into the back end of your easy course, academy and or program or software, you're going to come down to what's called webhooks. Now, webhooks they're messengers, right? They have what's called a payload. They'll take that information, package it up in a secure URL, and pass it on to another program that it's connected up to. So that's basically what it is. It's a transporter, right? It takes one message, puts it into another program, and the two talk to each other, and it's a webhook, right? So that's the simplest terms. All right, so I'm not going to say it's a difficult part, but it's not as user friendly as some of the other programs. So I'll start with that. And the reason why I say that, when you're trying to do a webhook here, I think it's good for a technical person, but I think for a beginner, it's a little bit intimidating. So what happens is when you come here, you have to figure out what it is that you're trying to do with that information. First, you have to establish what do you want to do, right? And so let's look at that first. So this is, do I want to send new sign-up information? So look at these triggers. These are triggering events. This is a trigger. You need a trigger to do a webhook, right? So am I trying to do new sign-up information? Then I put my webhook URL here, right? Let me just give you this first. Am I trying to do new product enrollment? Did someone enroll in a new product? Do I want to be notified of that? Then I put the webhook here, right? Then, if I have a new sale that comes in, then I put the URL here. So there's three. I've already shown you three different places you can put the URL. So in technical terms, I think this is good because you may not want to know everything that happens. You may just want to know specific things, right? So a new sale, right? Course completed, right? I might want to send a congratulations. I might want to reach out to them. I might want to add them to another email drip and send them, say, hey, we just noticed you finished completing your course. We'd like to offer you a discount to start this course. So I think that's good. So all in all, right, this is a chapter complete, right? So you have to look at where it says URL. So when you come in your background, you're going to look at where it says URL, right? Uniform Resource Locator, right? That's where you put the HTTP or www dot whatever. That's where that's going to go there. So let's take a look at an actual, let's look at it. We're going to use a tool called Pebbly Connect. So I'm going to do a Pebbly Connect, and then I may do maybe another tool and show you on the other end and push it into maybe like a tool like VBout, right? A lot of people have been asking about VBout. So we're going to look at the other end and see how the receiving tool takes that information and see what it does with it. So let's take a look at the Pebbly side, the Pebbly Connect. There's going to be a link in here for Pebbly if you want to pick that up on a lifetime discount. That'll be available here just in case you want to pick it up. But let's take a look at the other side and let's see where this URL comes from, right? The Uniform Resource Locator. Let's see where that comes from. All right, so let's take a look at the other side. So when you get inside Pebbly Connect it's kind of like a Zapier, or it's a kissing cousin or brother to Zapier, right? And basically what it does is it creates these workflows of two actual softwares talking to each other and making a communication. So Pebbly Connect serves as the bridge, right? You want to get from one side, or the train, you want to get from one side, from one station to the other side. You want to get from the west side to the south side. You want to take all that information with you. Pebbly Connect is going to help you do that. So let's take a look. Let's go inside and let's set up a workflow for our easy course. So the first thing you do is you create a workflow, right? And this pretty much works for all of the other tools that you use to do a web hook for. They all have to create a workflow. So we'll go here, we'll create our name, all right, and we'll call it Easy Connect to CRM, right? Or customer relationship management. So we'll hit create here, right? So once you hit create, what it's going to do is it's going to ask you, what tool do you want to use, right? What tool do you want to use? So for this particular instance, we're going to use a webhook, right? And so you can select that out of here. Webhook is what we're going to choose. And you'll see here, there's tons of different tools that talk to each other, right? Tons of different tools. This is what you would use. You can get more technical and do an API, application programming interface. That's a little bit more technical. We'll stay on the surface here. So all of these different tools you can use here. The one that you can use that you really don't need an interface, like right now, I don't need an interface for Easy Course. So I can just use a webhook to take the information and travel to the other side of the bridge for me. So we're going to select the webhook here. So we want to use a webhook here. Boom. Here we have, this is the transport URL that's going to transport our information. You got it? So we're going to take this information here, right? We're going to copy it, right? And then we're going to go over here and we're going to put it in here. So now when we have a new sign up, right? I think I'm going to do, well, this one's a little bit more technical, but it's easier to do for a new product enrollment because someone might already be there. So let me just do a new sign up when someone signs up to my academy, right? So I'm going to paste it here, right? Then I'm going to save it. So I'm going to save the information there, right? So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. Now, what I have to do now is what do I want? Let me capture. And what it's called is once the trigger happens, let me capture that information and let's see what happens. Once we come back here, you're going to wait for the webhook response. Now that we've already attached the webhook, we now have to run a test because a webhook needs to know what information am I gathering, right? So you're going to hit this once that happens and the information is going to start flowing. It's almost like a waterfall. Once you put the information in, then all the information is going to populate here. So you may be asking what information is going to populate there. It's going to populate the ID, it's going to populate the name, and it's going to populate the email, right? Every student that comes into the Easy Course Academy, everybody's assigned an ID. Every product is assigned an ID. Every transaction is assigned an ID, right? That's the power of a database on the back end. It's performing all the functions for you. So these are the three things it's going to capture. It's going to capture an ID, it's going to capture the name, and it's going to capture the email. So now let me go and let me create a new sign up. Create the new sign up, and then we're going to see the information populate over here on this side. So let me do that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm in incognito mode. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to click on the sign up button because once I sign up, it's going to send that information over to our Pebbly Connect and then it's going to populate what we're looking for. And then we have to match up the fields on the other end. The reason why we have to match up the fields on the other end is because we want those fields to transport over to our CRM or whatever tool we're using on the other end. But we got to identify it on the south side before we can get to the west side. So let's go ahead and do that now. So I'm going to click on sign up. And I'm not really sure what email address I can use that people are not going to spam me on. So let me just try to attempt to populate this for you so no one tries to spam me later. This has happened online, but I just want to make sure I get the information over and kind of show you what happens. All right, so what I've done is I created a name called Jenny Davis, right? I mean, it's Jenny Davis, I don't know. And it gave me a ID. The ID is the value 23525. I named it Jenny Davis, and I just put an email address in there. So once I hit sign up and that came through, this information automatically populated because this was waiting for the information to know what to do with it. So what do we want to do with it, right? This information came in. I want to send it to a CRM. So let's find a CRM that we can send it to. The most popular one, you can really use anyone, but everybody keeps talking about VBout. And I know VBout has a Pebbly connection here. So we'll select the VBout. So it always asks you, hey, what do you want to do? So once it comes in, it says, hey, VBout is asking for this information. What do you want to do with this information? So VBout says, hey, when information comes in, let's see what we're going to do with it. One thing I like about VBout is, hey, we need to add it to a list. Nobody's coming in here unless they're added to a list, right? So we'll add the contact to a list, right? And then I already have a list. I have a sample list inside of VBout that I want to add it to. So who do I want to add this to for a new student? Let's look at it. let's do our connect first. Let's do a connect. We're going to authorize it. I'm already connected to that. So let's take a look and see how that looks. So I'm going to hit connect here. I'm going to add it to a list. Once I connect, then it's going to show me the list of it's going to show me a contact list and show me which list I can connect it to. So let's hit connect here. So as soon as we hit connect, I already have a previous say, hey, I'm going to connect it to I have VBot LinkedIn Connect. I'll just use that one, right? It's already there. So I have LinkedIn Connect. So we'll just connect it there. So we'll hit save here, right? And so what it's going to do is it's going to connect, and it says, hey, what do you want to do with the ID? So this is the interesting part, because remember I told you these are the 3 that are required. So what's required is the list ID, the email address, and then a status. So VBot is saying, listen, you have 3 areas you need to populate from the data that you're pulling over. The rest of these we can just pretty much populate, but what you have to do is find out what goes in each one. So it says, where do you want to put the list ID? So we're going to look here. It says, you know what? I want it to go to Easy Course students, right? So that's the list ID. So I want that list ID to go to Easy Course students. I also wanted to map, right? I wanted to map to the email address. I want to select here and go email address here, right? All right, so then what I wanted to do is I have to do one more requirement, and I want the status. I want them to be unsubscribed or active, and you get to choose. And I'll just put unconfirmed here. I don't really know yet what they are, but I want to also populate their name. So I'm going to go here. I'm just going to put here, and I'm going to select this here, and I'm just going to put Jenny Davis here. That's fine. It'd be nice if it can be broken out into first and last name. You know, we can do that as well, but these 3 need to be identified coming in. Let me look at this again. I don't know if I need the actual, yeah, that's the list that we're going to add it to, right? Then we do that, and then that's it. And we save and we send a test result. And so that's what we're going to do. So these are all the things you needed to do. What else? We have the email. We have the email coming in. And what else we need to do? All right. So now we're going to save and send test requests. So what we got was, it says, hey, your data was successful, right? We have all the 3 informations that we needed. Again, you got to populate those required fields. Let's go over into VBot and let's see if Jenny Davis showed up. All right, boom, it showed up. Jenny Davis is right here. We logged into our VBot dashboard. It just showed up here, Easy Course students. They joined Easy Course students. That went in there. So we're all set here. So Jenny Davis showed up here. Again, we sent it 7/21/2023. Let's take a look at that. We sent this response, so you can take a look. And this is when we actually did it. This is what we did. All right. So again, hopefully that's helpful for you. What do you do when it gets over there? The choice is yours. When it comes over to VBot, you can then put them on an email sequence or something like that. You can add them to some other things you want them to do. You can add them to a drip campaign or so on and so forth. You can do a lot of things. Once they get in here, you can actually send them an email, trigger email. Hey, welcome to our course. We're going to send you a series of emails over and over. That's a little bit beyond the scope of this. If you join one of my courses, you'll have access to me and I'll actually show you how to do that. So, hey, this has been Jenny Jones. Listen, this is the Digital Marketing Tool Shed. We are trying to help you with these tools and trying to help you make a difference in your business. Hopefully this simple scenario worked out for you, or the simple use case worked out for you. And this is basically what you're going to do for all of them. Now, what you could possibly do is you can have a different trigger to do something else. If a new product is enrolled or something, you can add, you need to create a whole new webhook, or you can use the same one and then just capture that same information and pass it back and forth, right? Okay, so hopefully this was helpful. Hey, this has been Jenny Jones. You guys be good out there. Please like, subscribe, make a comment. That way I know you're you're actually taking in this information. Let me know if it was helpful. Just a simple, hey, Jenny, got it, or something in the comments. That way, give us a little YouTube love and we can go from there. Hey, you guys been great. Take care. Goodbye for now.